sunshine. And folks, sunshine is about sharing things that inspire. Sunshine is also about shining light on the truth, sharing our truths. It's about realness, and when you shine light on things, I think that's called love. So let's shine a little light today. I have a little light to shine because yesterday, uh, Pope Francis was in the news. It was nice because it took up a little space from Trump being in the news. And yes, literally yesterday, hell froze over, folks. Hell froze over. I want you all to know that hell is officially frozen over because Pope Francis, it came out yesterday that he believes that gay folks should be able to have a family. Well, thank you, Pope Francis. So I'm going to do I just want to share the details of that. I'm not going to do the practice today. I've got the practice scrolling underneath me because that practice is so important. And one of the reasons that I do this as well is to share that every day. So let me, I'm going to go ahead and just share this very, very quick reset, kind of what happened yesterday so that we're all on the same page.
Cementing his reputation as the Pope of Surprises, saying in the new documentary Francesco, what we have to create is a civil union law. That way they are legally covered. I stood up for that. Father Jim Martin, author and advocate for LGBTQ Catholics, saw the documentary.
This is an historic step forward in the church's relationship with LGBT people and LGBT Catholics.
Is he opening the door to gay marriage in the church?
The Pope is not opening up the door to gay marriage being celebrated in a mass, but he's opening up the door to people being approving of same-sex civil unions.
Church teaching says homosexuality is disordered. Today, Rhode Island Bishop Thomas Tobin called on the Pope to clarify his words, saying the church cannot support the acceptance of objectively immoral relationships. From his first press conference when he asked, "Who am I to judge?" Francis's papacy has been marked by compassion to gays and lesbians. Now the Pope says homosexuals have a right to be part of the family. They are children of God and have a right to a family. Nobody should be thrown out or made miserable because of it. Reaching out to those who've long felt excluded by the church. Ann Thompson, NBC News.
Well, there you go. Hell froze over yesterday. That was a big step for the church. And I want to share that. I kind of want to share how I feel about that. I grew up Catholic. And I have to tell you I have to share with you how much damage. So I had mixed feelings. It was actually kind of triggering to hear that yesterday after all these years. You know, part of you says, my God, that's great for a lot of people today to hear something positive, especially the gay folks that are still Catholic, who continue to stay in it. But how triggering it is to hear that as well. And I have to share how much damage the church has done, the Catholic Church has done. I have to share that folks have taken their lives, folks have killed themselves because of the stance of the church. And you just heard that report, which a little bit of light, right, with Pope Francis, countered by its church doctrine that homosexuality is disordered and that we cannot accept gay relationships because they are disordered relationships. So that is the message today that we still get from the church. And I have to tell you how hypocritical it is, and how I sat in religion class at St. Charles Prep, right down the street from where I live today. And I heard a priest tell me that homosexuality was a sin. And I internalized that at the age of 15. I internalized that along with the other messages that I got. And I somehow thought that I was bad, and that was incredibly destructive to my life. I'm somebody who then tried to kill myself. I did. Okay. And that wasn't helpful. That wasn't helpful. And can you imagine if I was sitting in that religion class in a place that's supposed to be giving sharing Jesus's teachings to us, and I'd heard the message that homosexuality is just another expression of love? Can you imagine if I had heard that instead? My life would have been different. And I say that because some people didn't make it. Some people didn't make it. And I say that because from an accountability perspective, the church has a lot of atonement to do for the damage that it has caused to my community. That the damage it has caused to my community and to society by taking that view. By taking that view, the church has just hurt a lot of people. And that's my community. And that's me. I've been hurt by that. I was told that by a gay priest, as it turns out. A priest that tried to have sex with me a few years later. A few years later, the priest at St. Charles that told me that homosexuality is a sin tried to have sex with me. Okay? Imagine how confusing that is. And that's before I came out. That's before I came out. Imagine having two classmates at that school. One who was sexually abused by a priest. All right. Another that was sexually abused by a priest in grade school. Two gay kids in my class of 80. Two gay kids. All right. Both of them tremendously damaged by those experiences. Today, still experiencing that damage. I want folks to understand that when folks in the gay community, LGBT community, have to come to terms with the fact that we are different and that God loves us, that we are not bad, and God damn it, by loving the person we love, we are not sinners. I want you all to understand the damage that the church, the damage that my high school did to gay kids because it was simply following gay doctrine and had gay priests at that school, gay priests who later, a gay priest who tried to pick me up and have sex. Okay? That's the hypocrisy. That's the sickness of the Catholic Church. And the Catholic Church has so much atonement. So that is what I hear yesterday when I want to say great, and then I remember the damage that has been done, and it's still being done, because in that report there were gay kids who heard it is doctrine of the church that homosexuality is disordered. I'm sorry, it is doctrine of the church that you are disordered. And that's internalized, and then that is a struggle and could be a life and death struggle for folks. So please understand that. Please understand that. No, I had to fight for my life, folks. I had to fight for my life. And as I finally came to terms and chose not to kill myself, as I finally came to terms, I ended up opening up a gay restaurant, becoming a gay activist. I ended up getting married and adopting children. And here I live an incredibly happy life. In fact, I even debated a Catholic priest about gay marriage back in the late 90s. I did that. It was empowering. It was powerful. And it was about me claiming who I am and saying, bullshit, I don't believe you. Because God is about love. Jesus is about love. And stop fucking shaming us for who we are. So there you go. I had to get that off my chest. And we got to let this stuff come to light. You know, I had my friend was molested by a priest at St. Charles. And when that came out, somebody else came forward that was molested by that same priest, came out in the news. His name was Father Bennett. We will name his name. And it's St. Charles. Okay. When that happened, the community who loved this priest, including me. I thought this priest was a great teacher. Attacked that person. And I saw homophobic stuff, and I saw a lot of nasty stuff toward that person. Well, guess what? The diocese settled with that person for $1 million. They settled, right? Because this stuff has been happening in the church for centuries, millennium. And that is not acceptable. And I'm sorry, but a lot of gay folks and pedophiles, by the way, there's no connection between pedophilia and being gay. But a lot of folks that are confused join the priesthood because they want to be good and they can't be who they are. And there's some sickness around pedophilia in the church as well. And it's got to be purged, and it's got to come to light. And it's enough of this bullshit, enough of sweeping stuff under the carpet. Let's bring it to light. Let's accept all of us for who we are. And, you know, I can't even send my kids to Catholic schools. I'll share one more thing because I think it's important. Is that, you know, we have a St. Mary's right down the street from us. And I would love to send my kids there because there's a lot of good that they would learn. But I was told by the principal of that school that if a teacher came out, they would have to fire them. And I said to myself, I'll be damned if I'm going to send my kids to a school where they would fire the teacher because they're gay. So here we are. Thank you, Pope Francis. Thank you for trying to get change in a place where it's almost impossible. Thank you for that. And I end on go back and listen to Luster's. Go back and listen to Luster's 7 minutes that I did with him, and that he talked about grace. And how many gay folks have come to a place of grace when it comes to the church, right? Having grace. That's the definition of the word grace is to be on the end of some bad shit, right? And to turn around and love anyway. That's grace. That is grace. So that's how I ended, because I'm trying to have grace as well. As angry as I am about it, I'm really working to have grace in the situation, to do the best I can to love, which was Jesus's message, is to love everybody, right? It's just to love everybody with an open heart. Quit stepping on their necks. All right. You got it today. Practice was rolling underneath. Love each and every one of you. It's so important. It's so important to love each other. Got to do it. We got to do it. We got to love ourselves. We got to fight for ourselves. And we got to love each other. That's it. All right. Listen, even when it's really damn cloudy out, the sun is always shining. Have a great day.